So before the pandemic, Face ID was absolutely amazing, and very recently, in case you weren't aware, Apple is releasing a new firmware update which will allow you to actually unlock your iPhone or any device with Face ID, I think. Actually, I don't think it's going to be available on the iPad Pro or other iPads that have Face ID hardware. Just right now, specifically, it's focused more on iPhones, where thanks to the latest firmware update, well, currently is the developer update, but should become available in the next few weeks. Nonetheless, the next major update is going to give our iPhone and Apple Watch new additional features. And so in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and cover the 10 most useful features that's making its way to not just our iPhone, but also the Apple Watch. Let's go ahead and get started. So yes, as soon as you receive this new firmware update, which is iOS 14.5, this will allow your iPhone placing this mask on. If you're curious what kind of mask this is by Armor. Out of all the masks that I use, this one's my favorite one because it doesn't cause a lot of fogginess if you also wear glasses, and is really breathable. But even while wearing this mask, hopefully the microphone can understand me, I can unlock my iPhone just fine as it utilizes the Apple Watch. So you need to be wearing an Apple Watch to unlock this feature. And as you see, it literally just unlocks like so. Gives me a haptic tap on my watch. And if my iPhone was falsely unlocked, I could quickly lock it by tapping my Apple Watch. And if you do lock it with the Apple Watch and you try unlocking it one more time, it's going to require you to actually enter your PIN code in case someone did snatch it. So it's a little bit less secure, but since you have the Apple Watch on your wrist, you're able to quickly lock it in case it got to the wrong hands, and it will disable Face ID. So you have to re-enter your PIN to re-enable it. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this off so you can actually understand me. But this is the #1 feature that's making its way to the iPhone, and as soon as you receive this update in the next week or so, to enable this feature, again, you need an Apple Watch that's on the latest firmware update, and just quickly hop into your settings and go down to Face ID and PIN code. Enter your PIN and scroll all the way down where it says unlock with Apple Watch. Go ahead and enable the Apple Watch that you want to enable it on, and that's how you could unlock your iPhone with Face ID while wearing your mask. And then the #2 feature was this, of course, is the ability to unlock your iPhone with your Apple Watch, which you do need to have a PIN code set up on your Apple Watch in order to unlock this feature. So if you use Apple Pay, you should already be set, as Apple Pay requires you to have a PIN code on your Apple Watch in order to use it on your watch. Another new feature that's a part of this new firmware update is when you place your Apple Watch on your wrist and you have the PIN code pop up, if you enabled unlock your Apple Watch with your iPhone, it will now show you a little prompt card on top letting you know that your Apple Watch is now unlocked. Very similar to what you see with your AirPods. And if you are one of the lucky few people that happen to have their hands on a PlayStation 5 or have a PlayStation 5 controller, the PS5 is now fully supported on iPhones and iPads, as you could just pair it via Bluetooth by simply just quickly going into your settings like you normally would on previous generation gaming controllers. And on a PlayStation 5, just simply hold down the PlayStation button as well as this button right here until the LED indicator starts flashing repeatedly like so, and now you should be able to click on it and pair to your device, and now you can utilize the PS5 controller. For #5, if you haven't had this feature enabled yet, I recommend to quickly do so. It doesn't really take up that much space, and it's pretty useful, especially if you're trying to talk to Siri without verbally communicating with her. You'll see what I mean. If you hop in your settings and you go into Siri, then scroll down to Siri Respond, go ahead and enable always show speech. Now, whenever you talk to Siri, what time is it in London? The text is down here. You quickly tap on it and correct in case Siri misheard you or something like that. And now, this was a new feature for 14.5 because the text is now smaller, so the Siri's text has been changed. For #6, the next notable improvement in terms of its features is now whenever you go into General and go to System Update, now you actually get a green check mark. So now there's a check mark to verify that you are indeed on the latest firmware update that's currently released, instead of playing the guessing game and having to refresh that page over and over again. Now, privacy has been also improved. Apple gave us more useful tools to track our privacy settings. If you go into your settings and quickly go into your privacy tab, there's now a new tracking that you can actually enable right here. So now you are 100% aware on what application is tracking you whenever you open up a new app. Now 5G dual SIM support is now fully supported. So now if you have an eSIM on your device, that eSIM now supports 5G. And then in the Apple Watch app, now there is actually a new App Store tab right here, which when pressed will quickly take you to the App Store and will show you all the apps that you could download on your mobile device, on apps you could install on the Apple Watch. Just made it a little bit quicker, and in addition to that, a previous update, this is worth mentioning as well, is you also get a new watch face right here, the utility. This was added on the previous firmware update for the Apple Watch. But in case you missed that previous video, here it is again. As a quick reminder that we did get a new watch face. That looks pretty cool. And then for number 10 is notifications. The notification tab, now if you go into your settings, go into your notifications, scroll all the way down to the very bottom, you could actually turn on or off these government emergency alerts. We now have that feature to disable that if we want to. Other than that, those were my top 10 favorite features about this new firmware update that's coming out very soon. Right now, mine is the developer beta, but it says that the public firmware update for this should be coming out in the near future. So mid-February, or maybe just a couple more days. No ETA yet, but now you are ahead of the game as soon as this firmware update gets released and you know how to enable some of these new features, especially the new Face ID while wearing your mask. Now in terms of battery life, I haven't really noticed a difference from the previous firmware update. Seems like it's running really smoothly, as well as performance. It's been performing identical for my day-to-day experience now that I had this firmware update for a few days now. Have I experienced any bugs? Absolutely not, which is great. But other than that, that's gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed, greatly appreciate it if you could actually leave this video a like. But not only that, make sure you are subscribed, as I got more tech videos very similar to this coming out in the near future. But in the meantime, if you wish to see more, go ahead and watch this video over here, as that is a video that YouTube is recommending specifically for you. And then this video over here, that is an accessory video for the Apple Watch. Feel free to watch either or. Again, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.